Africa is ready for migration to digital communications technology. This is according to Communications Minister Khumbudzo Ntshavheni. Now, Ntshavheni says the target is to move, or should I say, have over 1.2 million households connected to the set-top boxes. She joins me now with the progress on how far the houses have been linked thus far. Minister, good morning to you. So your target is to have at least 1.2 million households have set-top boxes installed in their homes. How far have you gone?
We are now just around 900,000 of that, and the court has given us until 30 June to get the 1.2 connected. And we are committing that we are going to get the 1.2 connected by the 30th of June.
Is that the scope you have always looked at, 1.2 million households, or are there more people in need? Because I want to think that there's more than 1.2 million.
So if you recall, when we came to announce to the public on the 5th of October, at that point we had 1.1 million households that had registered because, and I've always indicated that analog is a very stupid technology, so you do not know who's sitting with analog, who's not sitting with analog. So when Cabinet made the request in 2012 to get the Department of Communication then assist what is deemed to be indigent households, that is those earning less than 3,500 per month, to register so that they can be assisted. So there is an obligation on the citizens that they must register. So we then went out and requested that South Africans must register by the 31st of October 2021 so that they could be connected before the analog switch off. In that registration, the number upticked from 1.1 to 1.2 million, just over 1.2 million South Africans having registered for the assistance with set-top boxes, and those are the ones that we must connect by 30th of June. And then we had an additional number of that went up after the 31st of October. Additional people registered, which got the numbers to 1.4 million South Africans. Those are the balance of the 268 that we must have them connected by 30th of September. But we have achieved a number of progress in different fronts. In Gauteng, for example, we have completed those who had to be connected by 30th of June. We've started on the ones for the September. But I want to also clarify the following point. Majority of people are not coming to register because either they are watching television on satellite or they are watching television on digital televisions. Because we then checked with the industry, with the manufacturers of digital TVs and smart TVs. And they've said almost 3 million households in South Africa have bought digital TVs between 2016 and to date, which means they do not need a set-top box. And that's the clarity we need to provide to South Africans, that you do not need a set-top box to watch television if you are not using an analog TV. If you are using an analog TV, when you switch on to your SABC 1, 2 channels and SABC 3, you would have a message that says the switch off is taking place, you're going to be switched off on this day. It comes on as a grey message on that because that TV is analog. But when it's a digital TV, that message does not come through. And that's why we're starting to communicate. The Minister of DTIC took out a policy directive that from the 31st of March 2022, you're no longer allowed to import and distribute analog televisions in the country because they've come to end of technology. And secondly, those who have analog televisions that were already in the country that they're putting in the markets, they must indicate that they must mark them clearly for consumers that these TVs are not compatible with the digital television networks that are in deployment.
Minister,
on my part also... Okay, go ahead.
Apologies for interrupting you there. It's just in the interest of time, I want to move on from this point. But before I do that, there has always been the argument that there are those who may not necessarily have registered for assistance, partly because of either the technical know-how that they may not have. What kind of assistance is being rendered to those people?
Thank you for that question. And the registration does not need a technical know-how. It's only now that we introduced the www.stbregistrations.gov.za. But you just need to walk to your post office, nearest post office, to register, or you can go to your ward councillor. They will assist you with to complete the form. That's all that is needed. And you earn 3,500. I thought you were going to ask me, what about those who will earn above 2,500, but they may not be in affording pay TV, and also they won't afford to, because currently it's only pay TV, and they may not afford to buy a digital TV. They may be sitting with an analog TV. We are working to make sure that we put on the retail market the government set-top box for people to buy. It will be affordable. It's once off. You buy the set-top box, you do the installation, and that's it. You don't have to pay subscription. It's free to air. You have it available on your part.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the date of analog switch off. That was meant to be 31 March 2022. The court has now extended that deadline to, I think, the 30th of June 2022. What are the implications there? And add to that question the broadcaster ETV. What seems to be the niggling issue?
Now, ETV, they are simply pursuing their commercial interests, because they say if we switch off, they won't be able to access other people. And what they're not telling people is that they are moving to satellite themselves. They are on DSTV, on OpenView platform, and people need to do the installation. And they are purely a commercial interest. So come 30th of June, and they've appealed to the Concord. We are objecting to that appeal. We are going to pursue the Concord the same way we've pursued the High Court, that they have no basis to do this, to argue that I don't have a right to declare the ASO date or analog switch-off date. As the High Court has confirmed, I'm within my rights to declare the date, and the High Court was simply saying that you have people you raise expectations for, and therefore they've developed a right. You must make sure we are going to give you enough time to connect them, and instead of you not sleeping. So come the 1st of July, we would switch off on the 30th of June, unless the Concord rules otherwise. We'll switch off on the 30th of June, and people will only watch television through digital. But what it means is that, and that's why we're not only pushing to connect those who have to be connected by June, but where it's possible, we are moving to connect those who have to be connected by September. So when you have a blank screen on that day, and you earn less than 3,500, go to your nearest post office or go to stb.registrations.gov.za and apply for government assistance. If you don't qualify, by that time you'll be able to go to your post office or your nearest retailer that will announce within the month of June. You could go and buy your set-top box, have it installed, and voila, you are in. But already, if you have a digital television, and you'll know by that time, the manufacturers, in fact, on the 6th of May, I'm gazetting a requirement for all manufacturers and distributors of television sets to mark the digital television with a Go Digital sticker. Then you'll know whether TV is digital or not. And if you have a smart television, you should be able to watch your digital television without anything. You simply go to take your remote and do menu search, auto tune or manual search, and you pick up your terrestrial network and you watch. And you can even watch today if you were sitting on a digital television. You can simply, on a smart television, you can simply watch on that. And we are also instituting a streaming a channel so that those who want to stream their content, I'm sure Mike G and them will be able to put their content on television now. Yeah,
Minister, on a completely separate matter, in fact, I call it coincidence, I don't know. But as I speak to you, there's a breaking news strap on the side of the screen, and it says the 4th state capture report is out. And the reason I bring this up is because you were among the board members who are said to have supported the suspension of certain executives in Denel, and by so doing basically led to the so-called capture of that institution. And the recommendation from the commission was that you be investigated by law enforcement agencies alongside the previous board members. Have you been contacted yet by law enforcement?
Actually, you read the report wrong. The report said there must be a possible investigation, not by law enforcement officers, whether we executed our fiduciary responsibility properly. And it was not a Khumbudzo issue; it was a board issue. So it's a board collective issue, and we'll wait for those investigations if they have to be there, if there is justification. But I'm still confident that I did nothing wrong in terms of my fiduciary responsibility, and we'll deal with it there. It was not a Khumbudzo issue. You go and check in the report. It is the board collective. And you do not, if you go and check on the board records, you do not know what the board records are saying. So,
Minister, I thank you very much for your time.